welcome to part 2 of the OEM seat reinstallation. So behind the camera are my 2 OEM seats. As you guys saw in the last video on Monday, I just cleaned them up and got them ready to go. I'm getting ready to tear into the truck over here behind me. As you guys can tell, I'm not using my road mic because it is horribly windy, very cold. Probably not the best day I could have chose to do this, but I wanted to get it done. My main goal is to at least get the passenger seat in today. And if I have enough time, I will go ahead and throw the driver's seat in. But my main priority is that passenger seat. So the job itself isn't terribly difficult. It's about 5 or 6 bolts to do each seat. So a total of 10 to 12 bolts for the entire job. And 4 of them are 10 mil and the other 2 are Torx bits. I believe one is a Torx bit, maybe the other one isn't. I can't remember for sure. It's cold. But we're gonna get this done today. Get it done right, get the truck put back together with the OEM seats. And then have to figure out what exactly I'm going to do with the old seats. Or not with the old seats, but with the eBay seats. So, let's get right into it. Let's get started, because I'm already freezing to death and I want to get out of this weather already. So, let's get right into the process. Alright, so, after the wind knocked over my tripod and I had to move. So, like I said, it's just 2 10 mil bolts on those 2 front bolts on these seats. They were tightened with an impact when we first did this, but I actually don't own an impact, so I'd use my dad's when we did this, when we actually put these in. So probably won't drive anywhere yet until I have can find the impact and go ahead and tighten these down all the way, because I do not want to be driving down the road and lose some seats or go flying around. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now, is getting these first 2 bolts loosened up. They are, like I said, incredibly tight. So one thing I recommend is moving the seat as far back as possible. These eBay seats, unfortunately, don't go back terribly far, which is part of why I'm putting them back in, the old seats back in, because I was getting cramps in my back as well as my legs, because I'm 5'9", and these seats don't go back far enough. I legitimately was in pain in my legs and in my back with these seats. So that's the biggest reason why. People are probably gonna ask why I'm taking these out after I spent, you know, $600 on the entire setup. And that's it. It just was a mistake. I bought cheap seats that weren't really made for my body type, that weren't really made for trucks. So if you're gonna do this, either be like 85 pounds and like a midget or something. I don't know. So even someone of my height, like I said, I'm like 5'9", 5'10". I do not fit very well in these seats. So, so yeah, these are some long bolts. Yeah, here we go. One of the 10 mil bolts holding down that seat in there. There's a lot of like metal shavings and stuff on it. Put that in that cup holder there. So go ahead and get this other one undone now, which is pretty in there as well. And then there's a T45 on the back, and then another bolt holding the seatbelt buckle in, which I will be sure to undo here once I get that T45 out in the back here. Both seats have that T45. It's a bracket that actually holds the seat down as well as the buckle in. So it's already feeling pretty loose, missing that one bolt. So yeah, this shouldn't take me too long. I do wish I had something a bit longer that could get a bit more momentum on and, you know, actually loosen these up a bit faster. Looks like I got it though. Okay. And there we go. The first 2 bolts are out. So now we can move to the back. There's 2 more 10 mils in the back, as well as that T45 in the rear, to go ahead and get these the rest of the way off. So yeah, let's get back there. So like I said, we got a T45 bolt down there, in this little gray piece, as well as our 2 10 mils back here. So I'm gonna have to move the seat up. I don't know why I went ahead and shut the door, but that's what we're gonna work on next. Okay, so I went inside and grabbed an extension and a swivel socket, because the bolt placement is just absolutely horrid on these seats. So kind of having to work a little bit here on these brackets in particular. Like I said, the bolt placement is just horrid. So kind of just, okay, now what? I can't turn the ratchet for some reason. Okay, odd. What in the world? I really hate the bolt placement on these. That is one thing I will be, I will say about this. I don't even remember what brand made these brackets, but the bolt placement is horrid, and like I said, I can't even undo it with this swivel and extension on this thing. So I have to go back to my 10 mil. So I'm apologizing for the angles because the wind is just so horrid outside. It's already knocked my tripod over. So I'm kind of having to work a little bit with my angles here. Especially because I don't have anyone here with me to help me record this. So I'm just going to have to work with it a little bit at a time here. With just my one hand here, which is just not the most fun thing in the world because these bolts are, like I said, incredibly tight. But hopefully the reinstallation with the OEMs shouldn't be too difficult, but this is not fun in the slightest. I need to invest in an electric ratchet or something like that to help with jobs like this, but probably won't. Well, actually I say that whenever I do get the stock seats reupholstered, I probably will put these back in for the time being around that point, but that won't be for a while from now anyway, so. Okay. There we go. Our third bolt is out. Now we just got one more, and then this seat is ready to come out of the truck. I'll say that. Forgot about that T45 right there. Like I said, it's not a terrible bolt. It's just kind of an odd one to say the least. It might be a T50. I don't know for sure. Is this bolt really that loose? That bolt was loose. Okay. Okay. It's not cross-ducted or anything. That was my concern. Looks like my little brother's home. So yeah, let me try and look at this. This bolt looks a little bit wrecked, so it might not work like I had hoped. Okay, let's see. Yep, T45 did the trick. So yeah, T45 on this little brace back here to get this out. It's so funny. I had so many issues when I did this the first time, and now this is a breeze. Torx bolts are kind of my least favorite, but Ford loves these things for some reason. And even the MAF sensor has a Torx bolt on it. Okay, is this not quite? I'm very cold. Hi. Man. I was gonna say you're home a little early. What time is it? Oh yeah, just a little bit. What, Mom like call and check you out or something? You can do that? Oh yeah, right. Forgot. Yeah. I'm the idiot taking a seat out in this weather, so. Yeah, I'd rather it be this than hot, that's for sure. Because if it were hot, I'd be dying of like exhaustion right now. Meep. Okay. I think we're almost out. It's a long bolt. Yep, we are out on this side. I really hate this cover, so I might just see if I can just take it off. Ugh. Ugh, I don't know what I just touched. But, yep, we got everything but the one bolt out for the seat belt, which shouldn't be a hassle at all once I get the seat positioned. So I will let you guys know what that bolt is here in a second. But yeah, let me get all of my bolts put up until I can get the stock seat put back in here, and then we'll get started with a reinstallation. Alright guys, so the last bolt, which is holding the seat belt buckle onto the bracket here, is a 10 mil. So really easy to do. I didn't do it on camera because I was cussing it out because the seat's recline mechanism failed as I was trying to do some tinkering with the back bolts earlier. So really annoying. Another reason why I'm taking these seats out, because they're just a piece of garbage. And don't buy eBay seats, regardless of who you get it from. Just buy Sparco, Bride, Recaro, you know, all the name brands, Brom. Don't get junk eBay seats. So now I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna try to actually disconnect the seatbelt buckle and take the brace out with me so I can transfer it over to our factory passenger seat. Well, here are the two side by side. We have our junk eBay carbon seat that just let me down until the very end, quite literally and figuratively. And then my stock seat, which has been pretty much cleaned, but still doesn't look the best. It's still a little bit of staining here and there, but there's not really much I can do about that because they're just too far gone. The carpet cleaner did the best it could. Clean up a lot of the grime and stuff that these seats had on it, but still has, you know, the occasional stain here and there. Looks like that, you know, that'll just be permanent on these seats. So yeah, that's that. We're gonna get ready to put these back in the truck. This is about as good as it'll get. It's a lot more comfortable, so I'm excited to not have to hear the complaints anymore about how uncomfortable it is or anything like that. The truck's a daily driver. It needs to stay mildly comfortable. So, and have a recline mechanism that isn't going to snap and fall apart as soon as I hit the trigger back, on the seat back. So, our next task, I actually pulled the brace out of the seats, as you guys can see here. So this is the seatbelt buckle, the actual T45 bolt that hooks up in the back, which I'm going to try to take this cover off because I've always hated this cover anyway. So let's see if I can just flat out take it off altogether. I almost cut off the one on the other one, but my dad says I shouldn't take it off, but I just hate these covers so much. They're just like, this one's gross. And it just bothers me. It just makes putting the bolt back a little bit difficult. Look how giant this bolt is. This is a huge bolt. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now is I'm going to get ready to plug this 10 mil into the side of the factory seat, and then we'll just reinstall it and it'll be like I never took it out. So let's get into that. So yeah, this is pretty simple from here on out. It's just a lot of just putting bolts back in where they go. I can see the hole already where this needs to go. So we're going to slide this back a good bit, and then we're going to nice and easy plug that up there. I'm going to go ahead and get the bolt started. Save me a little bit of time later, so I'm not having to manhandle it too much to actually go back on. So this does have a captive screw, which I like. That way I don't lose it off the bracket, trying to put it back together. So yeah, this shouldn't be too bad from here on out. It's just kind of reverse of what we've already done. So now this is in place. I can reposition this and get this little stud back on here. That goes there. So again, a lot of you can't go wrong with stock, guys. I'm just saying. Sometimes, in the case of pickup trucks, eBay seats are not the way to go. As much as I like how those seats look, those seats look great in terms of like cosmetic styling, but in use they were trash. They just weren't comfortable. They didn't feel very good. I mean, they just, you know, they were just there, and that was like my whole thing and why I wanted to get rid of them and move back to the stockers. Is these are, you know, miles ahead in terms of comfort. Why does it seem like this bolt is not all the way? I don't think it is, but it's not tightening anymore. Might back it out a little bit and see what's going on here. I don't know why it wouldn't be tight.
once this T45 is bolted up, and this is set back where it needs to be, it shouldn't be an issue. Not the most comforting though, having a bolt that feels rather loose, but the bracket is put back on nonetheless. I think it is supposed to have it, but I don't know exactly because it didn't really have any play on that seat. So yeah, now we have our passenger seat ready to go back in. So let's get into that shenanigans. For whatever reason, my dad's Craftsman ratchet wrench is not holding sockets anymore, so I apologize for that, even though it's not really affecting the video at all. But yeah, so passenger seat's ready to go back in. I just made sure to transfer the bracket over outside of the car. That way it's to save you a few bits of seconds. A little bit of a hassle, and just plug the connector in and just reverse what I did, take it out. So let's get right into that. All right, so we are ready to go to put this back in. So going ahead and getting all of the main bolts here in position. The seat is of course being a little bit annoying, trying to get all the bolts lined back up and everything. Got the T45 in place. I've got almost both rear bolts in place. They of course aren't wanting to line up perfect, which is a slight bit annoying for me. So I don't know exactly what that's about. I'm gonna go ahead and get the connector for the seatbelt plugged back in. So now that should function like normal. And then getting these 4 bolts in shouldn't be too bad. I was smart, like I said, and took out that T45 before I came in here. So go and get my keys and stuff back where I had them in here earlier, which was just the front cup holder. And now I can grab my 10 mils. We're gonna go ahead and tighten those down first before I do the T45, because the T45 is actually somewhat adjustable in its position. So I can grab the 2 10 mils here. Started. Camera moved to the front of the truck. We'll get started on tightening the front down. All right, so now we're up front. Gonna tighten down the front of the seat here. I'm not gonna tell right away that this sits a good bit high, or around the, I believe it's supposed to sit lower than this seat, but it looks about the same really. The headrest is shorter, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up our last 2 bolts here. And then we will be good to start. This is one I definitely wish I had an extension on, because there's not a lot of room here. I do happen to have an extension in the back here, so let's see if I can get it working on this seat, because that wasn't one working the earlier. Okay. There we go, much better. So I think the problem was I was being an idiot and not using the swivel right. That should be good. Wow, my hands popped. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was not a pleasant sound. This bolt tightened. This is actually taking a little bit longer than I thought. I was hoping I'd have this done in a decently quick time frame, but fortunately it does not look like that was going to work for me. I believe it's almost 3 o'clock, and I started this at like 2, so I mean, surprising how long it'll take you to undo 5 bolts or 6 bolts. Hopefully, now that I've done this once before, I can get the other one out decently quick. Okay, that's pretty tight. Oh yeah. The backs, like I said, could probably be tightened down a little bit more, but all in all, I think she is ready to rock as a stock seat again. So let me slide her all the way back here, hop on in here. Ow. The extension has decided to yeet itself underneath my truck, so one moment. All right, now that I've got the extension off the floor, oh yeah, oh, that is comfy. That's what you call comfort right there. Oh yeah, much better. And the seat sits, I don't think this is as far back as it goes. Let's see, nope, that is. That's actually a good bit of room. My legs almost straightened out to see at the front, so. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all, I would say. So, that's the passenger seat. It's in solidly, but I am, like I said, going to take some an impact to it later on today to get that tightened down good. Like I said, I don't know how to use it or where it is. So, yeah, probably be smarter just to let my dad tell me how to work everything before I start trying to use it and tear stuff up and or ruin the seat. So, yeah, that's the passenger seat. Holy voice crack. I'm going to do the driver's seat off camera because my battery is low, and 2, I can probably get it done a bit faster. So I'm going to do that, and then come back to you guys once I'm done, see if you guys are full look of both seats being back in here for the first time. All right, guys, so it is currently Thursday. I'm wrapping this video up for you guys to go up on Friday because, as you guys know, over the weekend I decided I was going to move to 2-day-a-week uploads, and that's exactly what we're doing. So I'm back outside with the truck. I'm going to give you guys kind of an update on the whole seat thing, and talk about everything with that to kind of close this video out for you guys. So as you guys can see, both seats are back in here. I meant to upload or film of this the other night, but I forgot. So much more comfortable than it was. As much as I loved those eBay seats, these are 10 times more comfortable, easier to ride in, doesn't hurt your back to sit in for a couple hours. I've been doing a lot of driving the last few weeks, so makes it a lot more comfortable to sit in seats that aren't going to absolutely kill your lower back when you get out of it. And I'm pretty happy. Sure, I'm going to miss using those eBay seats because they looked good, but these are miles ahead in terms of comfort. So I'm actually going to sit in here because it's very cold outside. And yeah, so that's kind of that. These seats, the OEM seats, very comfortable. I am eventually still going to get these refurbished once I have a bit more money together and I can afford to actually send these seats off, which means I probably will put the carbon seats back in here for a brief minute during that time frame while these are at an upholstery shop getting redone. I plan on ordering heated and cooled functionality as well. I haven't decided yet if I want to go with leather or if I want to stick with fabric. I like cloth seats because they're really easy to clean, and this being a truck, I don't do a lot of off-roading, obviously. It's a lower truck. Why would I do off-roading? But, you know, I get dirty. My girlfriend's family lives around a lot of, like, off-road areas, stuff like that. Not off-road areas, but, they live in the woods. So it's like, I spend a lot of time in dirt. So, I mean, or just driving on dirt roads, or not on dirt roads, but, near dirt roads, and, just, generally just tracks dirt in the car. And so, that's really it, is they're easy to clean. They can stand getting a little wet from like the rain and stuff. It's not that big of a deal. more comfortable for long-term driving. I drove over an hour plus the other day in these seats, and I was fine. I drove enough to burn almost 2/4 of it, burn almost half a tank the other day. I burned probably, yeah, about a half a tank in the last 2 days alone. So I mean, I've driven a lot in the last couple of days in this thing. I've put 143 miles on it since I filled it up last, which was the first drive I took with these seats in the truck. So I will say, a lot more comfortable, a lot easier to drive with, a lot more easy to live with. And if you're gonna buy racing seats for one of these, just go the right way, buy a name brand. And if you're a bigger guy like myself, buy a bigger seat. Get something that is meant for bigger guys. Corbo sells an entire line of wide seats, which are just you know, meant for guys like me who are a little bit on the big side and need a seat that can handle a bit of a bigger size. Unfortunately, those eBay seats, they didn't have any measurements for me to go off of to confirm that, so I just bought them and was just like, oh yeah, they'll probably fit in them, they're fine. I was wrong. Another thing you guys could look into if you guys wanted to have more bolster aggressive seats, but also want something that's a bit bigger, more OEM-like, is to look into modifications. Some ideas that I've had were putting S2000 seats in here, Genesis Coupe seats, stuff like that, because they are bolstered, but not so racery. They're meant to be driven long-term, if that makes any sense. So they're not as aggressive for bigger guys like myself. I've ridden in Hayden's S2000 numerous times, rather comfortably, as well as Hayden's old Genesis Coupe when he had that, and that was also really comfortable. So having those kind of seats would probably be pretty cool. But you know, again, you know, if you want to learn how to do some modifications, you can also throw like SRT seats. You could pretty much throw any seat you want to in here if you're willing to modify the brackets. So that's up to you on if you go that route. Pretty much I probably would do that if I were going to do more aggressive seats again, or to go for a custom bracket set, like, you know, get like Ford Recaros out of like a GT500 or a like out of the STs even, and use those in here. But, well, I don't know about the STs or cars. The STs or cars and the RSs or cars that are really tight. So I don't know if I'd use those. But, you know, generally I would grab, you know, if you're going to do custom fabrication, something that's a little bit like, you know, like more like the Mustang seats. Or if you guys want to, if you can stomach putting Chevy or Dodge seats in a Ford truck, you can do that if you just do the right modifications to the seats. But anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed just this little video of me swapping the seats out, this two-parter. Let me know what you guys want to see next week's videos in the comments below. Currently the poll that is running on the channel, the winner is so far Wednesday and Friday. So if that continues to be the case into this weekend, by Sunday afternoon, that'll be when I make my final decision on the uploading schedule for the future. If it is still the polls leading Wednesday and Friday, that will be the upload schedule will adopt. So there will no longer be a Monday upload slot, but there will be a Wednesday and Friday upload slot. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day, guys. Stay safe, and well, actually, have a good Christmas, because next week's Christmas, so have fun with that. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys.